Hi everyone, Dr. D here. As you know by now that we're talking about a process, an evaluation process that I developed close to 4 years ago called the Matrix Assessment Profile with the intention of having a tool or having access to a tool that would allow me to assist you in turning your symptoms into solutions by taking into consideration the whole person experience. So in other words, there are three major influences in the human experience, that being structural, biochemical, psychological, emotional, and even spiritual. And contained within these three influences are a multitude of facts that originate in various specialties within the world of science, neuroscience, psychology, biochemistry, quantum physics. So things like nothing exists until you observe it, in and of itself really has no relevance except for the fact that if you don't observe something, meaning that using a tool like the Matrix Assessment Profile, you're not really seeing anything, you're not experiencing anything. However, having had the Matrix Assessment Profile performed, in the absence of any active symptoms, you're still going to have the opportunity to evaluate the integrity of the biological environment that is being compromised by one or more of the three major influences that we each encounter on a day-to-day basis as part of our life experience. Now, these three influences aren't the end of the story. They actually are rooted in a deeper concept called the 5 core biological needs, which we all inherit. And as we inherit these 5 biological or core biological needs, the probability or likelihood of one or more of them being distorted to the point where they can cause or contribute to undiagnosed, unresolved symptoms during the course of a lifetime is extremely likely, and it's extremely high, to the extent that in all probability anything that you're experiencing that's abnormal in terms of symptoms which have not been diagnosed or been misdiagnosed may in fact be related to one of the 5 core biological needs being met or not being met, and depending upon the frequency, the intensity, the duration of the absence of support for these 5 core biological needs is going to dictate and determine how much of the other information associated with this evaluation process is really relevant to your life experience. So we know, for instance, that the human body essentially turns over its cells, the entire community of billions of cells, every 11 months. So you have that 11-month window as an opportunity to not only observe what the distortions and compromises are in the biological environment, but we're capable of identifying them and capable of determining what the appropriate intervention might be to resolve the symptoms associated with the compromises in the biological environment. We also know that we have 50 to 70,000 thoughts every day, 90% of which are the same ones you had yesterday. And so here in the field of psychology, in the field of neuroscience, we have a fact associated with the probability that whatever it is that you focus on expands, meaning that when you repeatedly entertain a particular feeling or a thought, and you embed that thought in your subconscious mind, which is the workhorse of the brain, this is the environment in which that seed that you've just planted in the form of a thought ultimately is going to express itself as that thought. So in essence, thoughts become things. And in addition to that, we also have the fact that 90% of those 50 to 70,000 thoughts that we have every day are negative, which in fact will then contribute in all likelihood to one of the 5 core biological needs not being met, and therefore creating what we call developmental trauma, which we may or may not be aware of in terms of how it relates to the symptoms that you may be experiencing that have been undiagnosed or have been misdiagnosed to the point where you've been to multiple healthcare providers. You've been told we can't find anything wrong. The symptoms are normal for your age. We're going to have to wait and see. We're going to have to run more tests, or the symptoms are all in your head. And so using the matrix assessment profile as a tool is the first step in this process, obviously. And with that evaluation, with those evaluation results in place, then we can start making decisions about why you're experiencing what you are and what you can do about it. And it provides me with a tool that's critical to helping me assist you in turning your symptoms into solutions. So once you've obtained a matrix assessment profile, you also then have the opportunity of becoming a member of the Matrix Transformation membership site, which is obviously for members only and provides a wealth of detailed information on a weekly basis in the form of audios and videos and articles and interviews, in addition to a wide variety of tools for transforming your biological environment and your human experience into an ideal set of circumstances, and one which you would prefer, one which you would desire, and one which you actually want. And so here's where the rubber meets the road. You have the profile performed, you have the evaluation results, you have a set of recommendations or protocols that I designed specifically for you, you have access to the membership site and to a weekly Ask Dr. D call where I spend an hour every week on the phone answering your questions as to why am I experiencing what I am, what can I do about it, how can you help me turn my symptoms into solutions. So if you're interested in participating in this entire process, the first step is to click the link below. It'll take you to a site where you can get an enormous amount of additional information, have the opportunity to purchase the matrix assessment profile for yourself, and then give you access to the option of joining the Matrix Transformation membership site. So if you're interested in any of this, click on the link below and join me again next week. I'm Dr. Richard DeCenso. Thank you for watching.